Hello man. And that's how I managed to convince that foolish man that the reason I have a hole inside my chest isn't there because I'm too lazy to cut out stuff for my videos properly. Such an Arne man. Or is he? Well, most of the non-European folks are probably confused what this term even I saw describes, while some Europeans might shout out a big Arne is a name given in mostly Germanic countries like Germany, Denmark or Sweden, while the Brits only use it as a surname, these cunty little And as you can see that there are even parts of Poland and France which are considered Germanic, because of the borders of the German Empire. But what even is a Germanic country? As ChatGPT says, Germanic countries refer to countries with same languages and cultures, which is absolutely true, at least in the aspect of language. Cause I can understand more than a Dutch person says, rather than what a Swiss person says, even though Dutch is considered its own language and Switzer German is only a dialect of German. And don't get me started with Saxony. In short, Germanic countries are Vikings, or have fallen, or were descendants from Viking countries. So if you live here in Poland, you can proudly call yourself a Viking. But back to topic and the reason of this video. What is Arne really? Because I can tell you, it's more than you think. I always said Arne is like the X in mathematics. You can put anything inside it, and it fits its meaning automatically. Like if you were going somewhere and someone randomly shoots, or stabs you like a normal day in London, you can ask that person why they are so Arne. You can ask the same question to another person who gives you $10,000 without any reason at all, and you see, the words stay the same, but the meaning still fits. For that reasoning, it even go that far to state that Arne is also the equivalent to Schrodinger's cat. It exists and at the same time it doesn't. It is the opposite and the not opposite at the same time. As I did my research to study more about the concept of Arne, I've decided to not just use it as a metaphorical placeholder, but rather as a real placeholder in mathematics, and the results were quite shocking. As you can see, the mere usage of Arne in a mathematic formula results in Arne consuming the formula itself. Arne is not just a metaphorical concept, but it's more than that. With that, I want, as the first human and revolutionary scientist of the AAS arts, introduce the Arnemathics. The science of Arne and the research for a more deeper understanding of Arne. So back to the important stuff. As I continued my research, I've remembered a clip I've seen that gave me my first contact with Arne.
Danke, hau rein.
Ciao.
Tschö.
Arne? Arne?
I've asked myself why he said that, until I suddenly knew it. This kid was obviously having the moment of his life. Big out of a big audience. He had no way of expressing this kind of emotion, of mental state. Besides Arne. Perhaps Arne is something even bigger. Maybe. No, probably. This happened because of all the emotions. All the emotions brought a rift in our world in time and space. There's no other reason to call out a German name other than this whole Arnemathic theory, which I stay theory, though its existence is totally proved now. It still isn't possible to use its powerful mathematical equations, since it defines that very problem, and simply merges with it. It would be the same to adding a number to infinity. It's still infinity, not be mistaken here. Infinity isn't Arne, since Arne is containing its negative counterpart. It also has the very opposite of Arne itself. While infinity doesn't equal to not infinity or even negative infinity, Arne isn't just a mathematical term. It seems it reaches far beyond. As the Arnemathics is a highly new science, I only have theories on what could work, but without proper research, this whole video could collapse if I tried using the power of Arne in action. So I'll have to do much more research, and then maybe, one day, I'll be able to present deeper Arnemathics and actually use it, and present my results. Stop Quinn. Arne is more than that. Arne is the very definition of everything. No stupid media convincing you otherwise. Arne is the gateway to everything, our very thing that is connecting each other. If it say Arne doesn't exist, then it would be true. Because Arne is everything, and even nothing is Arne. Please let me talk. Arne can do much more. Arne is perfect. It is geometry itself. So Arne is even rounder than a circle and a five-legged triangle at once together, with no of the thousands non-existing. Exist me. Even if it say Arne is Arne in
Paradox, paradox, paradox.
and even our very human language is every Arne. Because Arne, you hear me? If every word is Arne, then it's safe to say Arne is a Arne. Arne, ha 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 Arne, I meant Arne, I can laugh and Arne, Arne,